What's up, guys? It's Showtime's Fight Forum. I'm your boy Showtime, and as always, thank you guys for watching. You already know what this is. We're talking all things fights. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social medias at Showtime Sanders, and let's get into this nitty gritty. All right. So this is gonna come off as probably me being a hater. However, I don't care. This is just me speaking my truth and how I feel. And this is about Jake Paul and Dana White's beef. I am thoroughly annoyed with the whole situation at them, because it's like trying to force people to take sides, and I refuse to take either person's side. I really don't care for neither one. I ain't gonna say I don't care for neither one. I don't really have too much of an issue with Dana per se. I do think that he's cheap, and obviously he should pay his fighters more. That's like obvious. We've been saying that for years. No one's gonna really disagree with that except for him possibly. I'm just so over the whole Jake Paul thing. It's so annoying. Like, one, I'm cool with him boxing, doing what the hook is, or making his money. However, the trolling and the stupid rap song diss that all you weirdos want to eat up and say, oh, he fire, this is flames. I just don't get it. Don't get you. It just doesn't make sense. And I'm just over the whole situation. Realistically, if you ever go on my social medias, you'll see that I don't post anything Jake Paul related. I don't tweet anything Jake Paul. I don't really do anything Jake Paul related unless he's actually fighting. If he's fighting, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to post it because it's actually related. Something that actually matters. And it's something I actually care about. I do care about him when he actually fights people. So, you know, anything else, he is such a smart person. Like, realistically, he comes off as a dumbass, but he's not dumb. He's very smart. And what he did, and a lot of people are eating it up. Some people know, but some people are really eating it up. Like, this guy, some noble cause, and he's like Jesus bringing everybody over, talking about fighters pay. He wants the biggest money deals. He wants to get these, like, at the end of the day, he wants to keep exploiting by fighting older, past their prime, smaller fighters that are in the UFC to keep making money and keep staking the claim. You beating a UFC Hall of Famer and Tyron Woodley, and then you beating one of the best unsigned hypes that eventually got signed and was very, very humbled, Ben Askren, beating these guys, knocking these guys out, is a big claim to fame. You make a lot of money. There's nothing nobody can tell you. Something to put on your resume. I mean, it's so much clout that you get from that. It's common sense. However, you're now running out of names. So what do you have to do? You have to entice these smaller, past their prime fighters that you could possibly still beat, and you can still lose, because there's no guarantee that you could beat a Jorge or Conor. However, there's a good chance that you could beat these guys because you are still bigger. You do punch hard. I have to stop being disrespectful. You do punch hard as hell. That's straight facts. So I want to start this war with Dana White, and then I'm gonna pick things that are very accurate, and I'm gonna use people that knows the issues that are in the UFC and pick this so I can get a fan base from, even though I was just trolling and talking ish about MMA as a whole and the fighters as a whole by saying these guys can't box, these guys suck, I'm gonna knock them all out. But then, you know, behind them, champion them and then say, hey, this, that, and the third. And then a lot of the other stuff as far as like the whole back and forth with Clarissa that I really didn't respect. And then when Clarissa did something that you can't do, which is have the balls to go to MMA. She doesn't have to. She's a world champion. She's one of the best females in the world, making money doing that. Choose to go to MMA, do something that men are scared to do, and then compete, and then win one, and then lost the second one, and then want to talk junk about her. That was like, I was so pissed about that because it was just so irrelevant, disrespectful, and you don't have the balls, the accomplishments. You have no right to talk about anybody who's won a gold medal, who won a world championship, and you're out here boxing Ben Askren. Like, bro, who are you? And then want to also try to bring up homegirl who fought scrubs in a no-name, Amanda. And I don't even want to disrespect her because she's been nothing but respectful towards everything. But don't sit here and talk about her record as an MMA fighter when she didn't fight in the PFL. She didn't fight in the top organization. She fought in a smaller organization, lesser known fighters. Obviously, it's an easier fight, but you know, that's besides the point. Yeah, and you know, some people are gonna say Clarissa didn't fight nobody good either, but the second one that she fought, I actually think is decent. I'm not saying she's great, but I don't think she was a bad fighter at all, and I believe that she would be better than anybody Serrano fought in her fight. But that's besides the point, because that's putting two women against each other, and they're actually friends, and I don't want to do that. However, that's what Jake does, and it's so annoying, man. And people might doesn't know, like, he got upset just because she felt disrespected, because she should have felt disrespected when someone said, would you want to fight in her undercard? And she has more respect in herself than that. And that's not, once again, I'm not trying to talk about Amanda because he's promoting her and making her $1 million. I'm fighting an undercard too for you making $1 million. However, you know, Clarissa doesn't rock like that, and she doesn't believe that. She believes that she is a name in her own right, and she's only willing to go under somebody who has sacrificed like she has, that's put in the work as long as she has, aka somebody like an Anthony Joshua or Errol Spence, or somebody who's actually in the game, not somebody who's just play boxing, like Jake is kind of doing, because he's not really boxing a real boxer. However, once again, I'm saying all that, but I still give him full credit for still boxing Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren, not really, but boxing Tyron Woodley, because that actually was a challenge and he knocked him out. That's respect. But like I said, back to the whole beef, it just doesn't. It's just annoying. Like, why they're not gonna fight? It's irrelevant because it's not gonna affect Dana's day to one. Like, people are saying, oh, it's bringing notice. We've been talking about this for years. Jake is gonna keep talking about it. It's not gonna accomplish anything. In reality, what's gonna accomplish a fighter pay is the fighters. Jake Paul can't do anything. So him rapping and him talking about some, oh yeah, you know, I'll fight in the UFC. You just gotta give fighters this, that. We know that's not happening. You're not gonna fight in the UFC because you don't want to, and you're also gonna make less money. You're not gonna do it, and Dana's not gonna do it. It's so it's dumb. It's dumb. I'm over the whole thing. I wish people stop talking about it. I wish people stop paying Jake Paul any attention until he actually gets back into the ring, or at least announce that he's getting back in the ring, and then we can talk more about Jake Paul. But this little beef is stupid. It's dumb. You people got to understand, you trolling Dana White is not going to do anything to his day one. The only thing that's going to change it is literally going to be these fighters. With the situation between Francis Ngannou and Dana White is way more important to UFC fighters than anything. Not Jake Paul. It's literally the Francis situation. We need to pay that more attention because Francis is not rocking. Francis wants his money and he needs his money and he deserves his money. At the end of the day, this man knows he's worth way more than $600,000. All right? Is he worth what Tyson Fury makes? No. However, is he worth millions? Abso-freaking-lutely. There's a star right there. I just seen this man on Jackass. This man is a star. He needs to be paid his money, and I genuinely hope that fighters find a way to come together to like have somebody negotiate with these contracts. And there's no way that you're gonna raise up our, and I'm not saying this is Dana, because I think that was ESPN. I do believe ESPN raised it, but there's no way you're making more money now doing all these pay-per-views and getting all these sponsorships, raising up the pay-per-views, and then somehow, some way, fire pay is the exact same. And it's the same thing I have with the economy in general. Like, it's crazy how all these prices go up, but people's wages are staying the same. But we all know why. The top man is making a lot more money, while everybody else is staying the same or staying stagnant. But with these new organizations coming about, there's like bro, Kayla Harrison is making millions of dollars. She's making $1 million a year. She's fighting nobody. She's fighting literally nobody. And she's making $1 million a year. And she's very good. I'm not saying she's not good. However, she's making $1 million in another organization. She's making more money than Francis Ngannou. And Francis Ngannou's fighting killers. He just fought Cyril Gane. He fought Stipe. And she's making more money than him. Come on, yo. That's enough to be said. You gotta do better, man. So, once again, you know, that's my opinion on that whole situation. I went from Jake Paul and pivot to the person that really matters, which is the UFC fighter and the fighters that are making $8,000 still. And, you know, once again, that's $8,000. That's getting taxed. That's going to teams. So you're really making like $4,000. Yeah, like I said, these guys definitely need some assistance, and it's definitely to lower the totem pole. I mean, John Jones may seem like he's running and he's a coward. However, he is 100% right in his fighter pay. If he's fighting Francis, he's fighting Stipe, and he's pound for pound the greatest fighter ever, why is he not making anything close to a Deontay Wilder? Because he should. Granted, he kind of also boxed it up on his own because he's a knucklehead, but that's another point, another day. But thank you guys as always for watching, man. I want to hear what you guys think about the whole situation, fighters pay. And I honestly want to hear some more like ways of what we can do to implement. I like what like the things that Jake he wrote, but he didn't really write. Someone else wrote it for him and he just posted it. However, that's not realistic. I want a more realistic thing that is actually sustainable for the UFC, because what Jake wrote, it ain't happening. Let's be honest, that's never happening. I think something that's that's mixed in with some other stuff is possible. So I would love to hear what you guys think. As always, this is Showtime's Fight Forum. Thank you guys for watching. Be blessed.